Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 4, Episode 32.
And stuff's going down.
Yeah, July 15th. It's a big day. It's a big day. We're in the next part of this special day, which has all of our characters' movements and places, locations, and what they're doing being tracked. I like that the narrator, the silent narrator, is essentially giving us the details as to when this is happening, basically telling us this is important, pay attention. So we did just that, and we are keeping track of who's where and when. We have Josuke, Okuyasu, Mikitaka, and then the Superfly stand user, along with Kira's dad, all at the transmission tower outside of Morio.
Although Kira's dad is now left.
Yes, he is now left. And that was early in the morning, around about 8:30-ish.
Right, maybe 9 by the time all that stuff was done.
Yes, because the encounter took some time.
But then Koichi and potentially Tomoko have been nabbed.
Yeah,
because
all around the same time early in the morning.
Right, because based on the times they showed a quick flash of like a knife left in the house, and that was like late, like a good deal later than when she originally realized, something was off. Yeah. So she might have been grabbed. Yeah,
Koichi's bag left out in on the grass by those bushes, just gone there. Rohan is doing his investigative work at his house.
Right.
But then some strange boy shows up at his front door.
Yep.
So they're probably going to have to fight or do something there.
Right, but we have yet to give focus to Jotaro and
Joseph.
Joseph, yes, and Yukiko, if she ends up playing a part in this.
Well, yes, there are other characters that are out there that are stand users that might end up being involved eventually. But right now, it's mostly focused on the Jobros and then more or less people that are connected with them in the immediate sense. But then Kira and Kira's son, Hayato, they are each at school and work respectively. So they're effectively removed from this whole story thing for the time being. But there's going to be some kind of convergence of their whole motivations and stories that they're going through, because Hayato is extremely suspicious of his father. And Kira also might be, paying attention as well. So,
So who knows how this is going to go, but stuff's happening.
Stuff's happening, y'all. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Rohan. Who dis? New guy. Who dis? Okay. Yes! Rohan! Well done! Oh. 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 Okay. Nice. Wow. It's a good thing Rohan has a moral center, like a moral compass, if you will.
Well, he just wants to be left alone.
Right, yes.
He doesn't want anyone to see his back.
Oh. What the heck? This guy's bad news.
But he checked and he's not a stand user.
Yeah,
so.
but... Oh, dang. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
こうなったのも自分が勝手にワイヤーに変身してここまで登ったからなんです。僕だって少しはやるんだぜ。ちょっとは見直したかいって。
Aww, Mikitaka! Best alien bro. He's just like, yeah, whatever. He's talking nonsense.
いや、残るのはお前だよ。おめえにさよならって言葉があるとするならよ。俺たちがさよならというのを聞くときだけだ。
Oh my god!
Nice.
Oh, here we go!
この野郎ぶちのめして。
Back into the transmission tower.
おこちんなよ、ジョスケ。足りねえだ。お前らの誰もこのつもりはなかったのに。これじゃあお前をここから突き落とさなくては逃げられねえじゃねえか、このバカめが。
He's very agile.
Yeah.
Oh! Ooh, that could have been bad. Oh, gross.
ジョスケさん、そこを移動して。ナイフですでに傷をつけている。鉄塔にすでに傷をつけている。
Oh!
汚ねえ真似しやがって。俺のクレイジーダイヤモンド、どういう角度に傷をつけりゃどういう方向にエネルギーが飛ぶ。
Oh, crap.
やり飽きたビリヤードのようによーく知ってるんだ。ビリヤード。
Oh!
ジョスケ
ー! That balancing pose. Oh my god.
そーら飛んでくるぞ。ジョスケさん、背後からも来る。
Oh! Oh! Oh, these sound effects are good!
Please tell me that Okuyasu is doing something during this time.
He can't really. Like, he's stuck in here. He probably has no way of knowing how Josuke plans to get out, you know. Oh!
何発ぐらいクレイジーダイヤモンドで叩き返したか。そっから見えたかよ。おお、見えたぜ。
Yeah!
4発は4発なら十分だな。何言ってんの。
Wait, what is he
He's
gonna
gonna heal them.
reconstruct?
He's gonna return them.
スタンドエネルギーをビリヤードのように反射して俺を攻撃し。
So if it'll be like a redirect them right back to the
right
original
around,
source.
And since he's been staying in one place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
の親父から聞いただろうが。能力は破壊されたものやエネルギーを直す。何かを直す余裕があったっていうのか。バカが。
Yep.
Oh! Brilliant! All right.
私もともと他人が嫌でこの鉄塔に住み始めたんです。でも写真の親父にスタンド使いを一人でもここに閉じ込めたら外の世界で生活する面倒を見てくれって言われて。
Okay, okay.
ずっとこの中にいたい。もう鉄塔
Well, there's another location for Morio.
Yep, new Morio landmark.
ここに住む男。全てを自給自足で生活しているが。塩とかお菓子を持ってそれよりよ。
Well, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
息子キラヨシカゲの居場所とかよ。なんでもいいんだ。高一というスタンド使いいますか？このもう。始末したと言って。
Oh boy.
なんだって。写真の親父はすでに息子キラヨシカゲの居場所。
Oh, nice, good. So then they'll try to grab him and interrogate him.
積極的にこっちから攻める番。これはかなり。うわこのとはこれ80万円はしますね。それにビクトリアン・エドワード様式のデザインにイギリスで加工した建材を使ってますし。どうぞ。あ、はい。冷めないうちに。あ、お構いなく。
This is some weird obsession right here.
抑えなければ今はまだ。
Oh
man, they're so long.
It's so gross.
It's disgusting.
All right.
の匂いの
Oh, nice. Brilliant. He's like, Oh, genius. Hey, all right. I respect that. Yeah, do the walk away. Too easy. All right, there you go.
He's like, besides, the girls aren't here, so...
Right. You are already healed. Oh. He's like, the narcissist in him is just like, yep. But that's what you are, so do it. Ha, let's go. Oh my god. Ah, they bring out actual weapons.
Yeah.
That pose from Josuke is amazing, though. Oh my god. What? What the heck? Yeah. Because he has a parasite on his back that is actually the person that's the stand user, and that has the stand so that he would work around his Heaven's Door ability. It makes perfect sense. Heaven's Door! Oh wait. What was underneath the rug?
I think that was hiding like a hole.
Yeah, I think he's gonna abduct this guy. Like,
yeah. He's just completely not buying it.
Oh. Oh, wow. Whoa.
Oh man.
Whoa.
確か丈太郎は2秒ほど時を止められると聞いたが、そんなもんじゃねえぞこれは。人間一人どっかから持ってくるなんて丈太郎だって不可能だ。直接俺を狙ってくんならよ。
Yeah. Unforgivable. Yeah, sniff him out.
触ってたおめえがわからねえんだから俺に理解できるかよ。しかし。
Okay.
近くにいる。まだ匂いはもともとバレてもいいと思ってつけていたんだがな。どっちみちジョウスケの母親は出すつもりでいたんだ。ジョウスケのやつを観察するためにな。観察だ。我がスタンドエニグマは
Enigma.
Okay.
Wait, so once he observes,
he can swap?
Yeah, that's why she disappeared so suddenly. Because he was just watching her for like... Oh, so he's the pervy guy who basically like has to watch them for...
今見て分かったのだが、あなたひょっとして怖がった時、唾飲み込む癖ありますね。どんな人間だろうとビビった時、強盗に見えますか？お金なんていりませんよ。むしろ払いたいくらいだ。だって僕は今すごく楽しい。
What the heck?
だから今あなたに注目されているのがすごく楽しい。
Oh, he likes to be observed because he's The way she's holding the knife.
Oh yeah? また唾を飲み込みましたね。
Gross.
サインを見つけたとき、我がエニグマは絶対無敵の攻撃を完了。
What the heck? Whoa!
Okay.
This is cool!
この東方智子、そして広瀬光一も簡単に噛み。
What the heck?
Okay.
東方丈介がどんなに根性が据わったやつだろうと。
But he's angry.
全出してやれば恐怖でビビると思った。
Yeah, he's just pissed.
案の定だ。見たぞ、丈介
Oh.
のサインを。丈介はビビった時間違いない。上着か、このポケットの中にいるのか。どんなスタンドか知らねえが、奴はこのポケットにいるのか。お、噛むか、唇噛むか、噛めよ、ほら。言うや、答えろ。奴は
Oh.
まだ怖がってはいい。ポケットから匂いが外に出た。ひょっとしたら。
Wait.
俺だったらその髪は広げたりしねえ。
Oh, that's good. That's good. So he wrote something. Remember in the same way when
Right.
he wrote like your panties on her, panties and stuff. He's gonna write something in there that's basically going to make
Hopefully
him
scare him.
scared. Yeah, yeah. Oh my God! What a hyper-specific stand, though.
Yeah. Anytime I need to see your face, I just close my eyes and I'm taking to a place where your crystal mind and magenta feelings they keep sheltered in the base of my spine like a chicken cherry cola. I don't even try to explain, just hold on time. And it happens again, and I move so slightly. And to my lips in the face of a human cannibal. And me too, I want to come stand a little bit closer, breathing a little bit higher. You'll never know what hit you when I get to you. Ooh, I want you, I don't know if I need you, but ooh, I'd die to find out. Ooh, I want you, I don't know if I need you, but ooh, I would die to find out.
All right, we solved the whole issue with Superfly and the transmission tower.
We did indeed.
It was very helpful. Josuke was clever. He redirected the energy like you thought he would, back to the original point. And he's actually like, hey, I'll stay in here. Like, I can find happiness. It's going to be fine.
Oh, man.
And then we moved on to Koichi, which led back to the guy that Josuke put back into the hospital after that whole situation with Highway Star and stuff like that. It's just,
I love it.
It's so perfect. It's a perfect little continuity thing. And yeah, that guy's a super narcissist. And stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and it's wonderful. Like it's hilarious to see, and at the same time, you know,
oh my God,
to see him be so scared, right? You know, naturally so, but to be all like, oh yes, I'm the best, I'm amazing, and oh God, nope, I'm not going over there. Like,
yeah, and I love the way this stand kind of reminds me in a way of the same feeling I got when I was introduced to Vanilla Ice back in part 3. A stand that just tears you out of reality with some hyper-specific things there. And it's not that it's, you know, omnipotent and like supremely powerful like Highway Stars was. I mean, sorry. Wow.
Vanilla
Ice's brain work.
Right, because it's non-lethal.
Because it's non-lethal, yeah. But what happens if he tears said paper?
Sure.
What happens if he tosses said paper into a fire?
Yep.
Like,
what happens if he duct tapes the paper up and then thumbtacks it to the wall? Oh wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. This stand, Enigma, is legit awesome. Like, just one of the coolest hyper-specific stand ideas, and yet because it's got all these other conditions that it has to meet, it's this perfect one to give to this pervy creeper kind of peeping Tom kind of character. It's like, oh, that is creepy.
What I would love to see,
legit creepy.
What I would love to see, though, is Enigma up against Jotaro.
Oh, yeah.
Because...
Yeah.
Because with Josuke, this is more of a fitting battle for Josuke, right? Because as awesome as Josuke is, he's still a kid.
He's a kid. Yep.
He'll still get scared and all that stuff. Whereas
Jotaro is fearless at this point. Like he obviously feels fear at moments and stuff like that. But the level of badass, just like, are you kidding me?
Well, and the fact that it'd be
face
about
down like demigods. Like, who are you?
And that it would be about out observing.
Right?
You know?
Yes. Yes.
Like it's like, I'm observing Jotaro, and he just turns.
You have already been observed.
Yeah.
Star Platinum has already observed you.
That would be great. Could Enigma hurt itself? Because there have been a bunch of stand users before. Superfly is one example, but there have been a bunch of other ones where you get them by getting them to use their ability on themselves.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that would be
this one might be perfect for that. Yeah.
This one might be perfect for that, which would just be awesome.
Right. It may be in that way he uses fear, because if he accidentally shows fear while using his ability.
Right.
Well, the thing is, it's attack. It's a conscious attack. So I don't know if that would work exactly. But the idea of Josuke maybe redirecting it or whatever.
Sure.
I mean, it might be interesting.
Yep.
Also, the idea that it's a transformative effect means that what happens when Josuke's stand Crazy Diamond interacts with something that has already been transformed? Can he restore it?
I think he would be able to, because it's not like the soul is getting ripped out or anything like that, and even then he could theoretically do that too. But but since it's a piece of paper, you know, it's like, well, this used to be in a different state. Let's put it back to that state.
Yeah. It's also kind of genius that this encounter is happening now, because if you think about the terror that is the serial killer next door kind of feeling, like, that's pretty scary to think about, just that this guy is out there in your town and he's not going to stop. He's going to keep doing this. The idea that he could hit someone that you care about, that's terrifying. But then Josuke, before he can face the main big bad of this whole thing here, he has to basically conquer his fear of basically his friends being targeted.
Right.
I think that that's kind of proper, and that he's dealing with this more or less himself. I mean, we're gonna have
Highway Star, or whatever
whatever the guy's name was.
He's probably going to be a sacrifice for Josuke to be able to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Josuke could also potentially use Crazy Diamond on his mom to wake her up, and then give
her info.
Yeah, she might be able to give him info.
Give him info. Wow, I can't think. Come on, Gil.
But yeah, I like how they're doing this, because it's something where Josuke could be defeated without ever realizing that was something that defeated him. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Enigma's method of attack, now granted, the stand user exposited it to Tomoko, but he didn't exposit it to Josuke.
Right.
So now it's just this thing of, is Josuke going to do something that will, screw him over, right?
Right. What I think this feels also like, and why I think it reminds me a bit of the Vanilla Ice situation, is a bit of the horror vibe that a lot of the Part 3 encounters turned into. Basically, the idea that you're fighting a monster of the week, kind of stand of the week kind of setup. But a lot of them tended to have these elements of popular, I would say, kind of horror monster tropes. And Vanilla Ice was kind of a perfect example of that. Just this unknowable, unstoppable thing in a house that, just roams around and eats you, basically. This is that, but it's the thing of that it waits at the edges of your observation, always watching you, waiting for you to showcase fear. And if you showcase fear, it wins. It's kind of like, wasn't the monster from It one that fed off of the kid's fear? Yeah, I think I think it was. Yeah,
probably.
I think it was, because it's been a while since I saw the original, and I haven't seen the new ones. I should, but I think in the original, the way they ended up beating him was basically that the kids got over their fear of him, and it was usually things that he did in his environment and luring them into these creepy, dark areas and stuff. But once they got over their fear of the clown, basically it was okay. In this case, Josuke is being given little little
things to make him scared.
Yeah, little impulses of things to trigger fear. But every time it's about to go there, he kind of like resolves it by gritting his teeth, and he's like, "All right, no, we need to get serious here and do this."
Because as scared as he is, he's more mad.
Yeah, he's more angry. It was the mistake of the other stand users to bring the mom
into this,
Tomoko into this.
Because now,
oh no, you didn't.
Because the thing about fear is that you get afraid when you're thinking about yourself. You can be afraid for someone else, but that's a different kind of fear.
Yeah,
right.
There's like self-preservation, which is what the biting of the bottom lip thing is.
That
it's a
nervous
subconscious
thing,
nervous thing.
Yeah. Whereas in this case, because Josuke is very much thinking about other people right now, he's not as afraid.
Right.
Because that's because in that moment he has the motivation to then call up the reserves of courage.
Right.
Great.
Right. It's like he's not really caring about how he'll get out of this okay. He's just making sure that my mom has to get out of this okay. Yep. And then by extension also Koichi.
I need to rescue him.
I need to rescue him.
Right.
So if you can constantly be thinking about others in that respect, that's gonna, be your solution.
Then you're not focusing on how scared you are.
To stay out of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I find it very interesting that he basically decided to follow him during this whole time during the day. I guess the stand users are on a bit of a time limit, and that's why this whole day's timeline and everything like that has certain elements of validity, even though we haven't really gone back to Kira and his whole situation here.
Yeah.
We kind of touched base with him in that he is having to control his urges to handle things a bit directly.
I love that whole thing of him just walking around, and there's just a coworker or whatever, and she
just adjusts her hair,
ties her hair back, and he's just like, those hands, I want to cut them off and take them on walks and cherish them and be nice to them. Oh boy.
Yeah, this man needs to calm down.
Yep, and those fingernails, like it's
every
so
time
gross.
the sound happens, it's the perfect sound of like, it shouldn't be that loud. But that feeling of like grating your nails on chalkboard? It's like just a little bit below that in terms of like the bad tingle on the back of your neck.
And the other thing is, they showed his cuticles. The cuticles were like a third of the length of the actual fingernail. That means his fingernails are long. Those are claws. Those are like some of those fake fingernail things that like go out like really far.
Right.
Like that's gross.
I wonder how relevant that whole recurring thing is going to be, like, as we move towards the end of this part, because in some ways it is an unnatural thing. Like, I'm sure there are people that have maybe conditions out there in the world that I don't know about that lead to things like this, and this is just a hyper-exaggerated form of that, maybe. But I think it would be kind of interesting to have people look at his hands, because he's the hands guy, remember?
And be like, whoa, your fingernails.
What's wrong with your fingers?
Like clipping fingernails? Like, and like, how many years has it been?
What if a cute girl like is like, what? And they like grab his hands, and he's like, like he's like freaking out because now her hands are touching his hands, and they're alive, they're warm,
right.
And he's like, oh my god. Like, this could be a way where he would accidentally out himself and bring the attention of just regular people to that he's off, like something's off about
well
him.
I mean, when you have fingernails like those things need to be clipped
frequently. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
All right. They got Koichi, so that's that whole thing there.
They got his mom, but then they released his mom, so
to do the fear thing so they can get Josuke. But now Rohan is having to deal with this very, very eccentric architect. Which I actually like that we don't know whether or not this guy's a stand user yet, but Rohan might have just incited his own form of conflict by probably trapdooring that guy into a rug or something. Like, what is going on?
So, and this is one of the things that's interesting, because the whole deal with the rock paper scissors bit.
Yes.
Kind of had a problem with the fact that he didn't detect that the person was a stand user, and here he's specifically checking for the person being a stand user. Okay, they're not a stand user, right? So they're not a stand user, right? We can pretty much take that as law at this point. But there might be some workaround, like some stand user parasite being on their back, or
something,
Kira's father being slipped underneath his jacket or something like that. Who knows, right? And maybe that's what it is. I didn't think about that. And then Kira's dad is going to use his stand out from the photo to trap Kira or something like that. But he needs an actual camera for that, so I don't know if that'd work.
I don't know. I think it's going to be, there's going to be a reflection. There's going to be a reflective surface that's going to have him look off of that onto the back, and he's going to see something off.
Sure.
And immediately the other guy's going to be like, oh, you saw it.
Well, here's the other weird thing, is that, okay, Rohan went inside his head, and I love the fact that he was like, oh, this person, oh, da-da-da-da. They're here for this thing. Opens the door immediately. It's like, thank you.
I love it. It's like a Rocky's like, yes, we know that there are stand users lurking around every corner. So eventually they'd be like, all right, I have my stand ability is perfect for determining whether or not this person is a threat, and even erasing their memory that I even did that. Like, it's so good.
Right.
And yet it's like, oh, good. Now, he's actually safe.
Now, he went into the guy's mind, basically.
Mm-hmm. He read him.
Right, he read him.
Yeah.
And he said there's no scar or anything like that. I don't have acne or anything. I just don't like people looking at my back. So it seems to be a very harmless thing. So what I would love to see is that this is a pure coincidence.
Yes.
This is just a guy that came at the same time. But Rohan's like suspicious because he's onto things, right? And then he's like, nope, he traps the guy he's got this.
Right.
And then maybe there's another person that comes in and they're the stand user that's here to deal with him. And then he's like, gotcha.
That would be funny. That would be really funny to have it be the thing of where, because we know that Kira's father is aware of Rohan.
Right.
Because we saw him spying on Rohan.
Yep.
So that means that he probably sent a stand user there. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing is that I almost want to... maybe it'd be fun if I didn't. Remember how they showed the silhouette of two people?
Oh, to see if the silhouette is the same silhouette
matches up with the other one?
Yeah.
Because
I
think it did.
Maybe?
In my head, thinking back, it did. But I don't want to make theories based on that because it's more fun not knowing, I think, whether or not the silhouette matches perfectly with the architect guy.
And here's the thing. I really hope that person isn't a stand user.
Okay.
Because even though there's the realism of, well, Rohan didn't read every little bit of scrap of knowledge that he could about the person, right? There's this, when Rohan was introduced as a character and a stand user, there was this idea that his stand is absolutely the most busted thing ever, bar none, But the thing is that the odds that he would be able to actually use it on you is almost zero, right?
Yeah.
But if he does, then he's got you. So the idea that he's being so quick to use his stand, I love, because I want more characters to be thinking about that. We always seem to be, attacked by stand users, but I want it to still have that aspect of, there's nothing better. Like, if he wants to find information about somebody, he will. Like there's no just, oh, I missed that page or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be a twist of, like, how... because that's maybe the thing that's a little bit odd here.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some way that they basically made it so they ended up finding out what Rohan's stand is and does?
I think that's a definite possibility.
That's probably what it is. And because of that, they specifically had this one be basically the ultimate distraction.
Yeah, I got it. I think I know what this guy's stand is.
What?
Memory erasing.
Oh, he erased his own memory?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he erased his own memory, and he's going to erase Rohan's memory. It's the perfect way to do a cover-up, because then you just make it so that Rohan doesn't know about it.
Wow, you're right. That would make perfect sense.
Now, granted, if they could do that, then they could do that for all of the Jobros, and that would permanently solve the situation.
Think about it this way. They're going after Rohan first because he's actually probably the biggest problem.
Sure, he's the closest to figuring it out.
And he also doesn't need to be dealt with by a combat person because he's not really a combat guy. But then all the others, they need to have them being put into a position where they can then be brought to the memory eraser guy.
Right.
And then he goes and like, oh, you've got him as a paper, and boop, done. Boop, done.
Although how would he use his stand if he doesn't know that he can erase memories of stands? And theoretically, this is supposed to be all the information about the person, not just everything that the person knows about the person.
Oh, I've got it. It's a memory manipulator thing. And once someone looks at their back, and it's all a thing of curiosity, it unlocks basically a trigger that he doesn't even know about, that he erased basically from his memory, that uses the stand on the person that looks at his back.
Sure. So that's how he gets it to work. And
he doesn't want anyone to look at his back because he looked at his own back probably, and that's how he lost the memory of certain things.
Well, and maybe he manipulated his own memory to make it so that he doesn't like people to look at his back, so that he will do all this stuff, so that Rohan will be like, okay, so seriously though, what's up with this guy's back? And then it'll trigger the thing. That is something that is just ridiculous enough and wacky enough to be JoJo's and to have it work, and to be a workaround for the stand that you shouldn't be able to work around.
Right.
So
it is a bit ridiculous though that they would know what Rohan's abilities are, but maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah.
But that whole thing is going on. Mm-hmm. Now we have Josuke opening up a piece of paper,
which probably won't directly do anything, but it'll probably have something written on there that's very scary, that will cause him to maybe bite his lip.
But that's the thing. Mm-hmm. Based on where he is in this position here, will he notice the instant reaction? Because the way he was positioning himself, he's on the side of a building here with Tomoko resting on like a windowsill kind of open area there, or like on a bench or what have you. And the other guy was in an alley behind him to the left, I would say.
Right.
Or to the right if you're looking at Josuke. So he might not even see this here. Or he might expose himself trying to see it, and then the other guy will be like, look behind you, he's right there.
Although given that the stand is so based around observation, I don't think it'll have a problem seeing Josuke do the thing if Josuke ends up doing the thing.
Do you think it's a thing of where the stand has to see Josuke do the thing, or is it the stand user? Because that might be a very important difference.
Well, that's actually a good question. The difference between the stand. Well, no, the stand user was kept pretty close in the case of Tomoko.
Yeah,
but
in fact, he seemed to enjoy it and relish it. Like he was bringing it up how much he was observing it, and he hadn't called out his stand yet at that point.
Yeah.
So maybe it is the tricky thing of what makes his stand not so overpowered is that he has to observe it, but when he calls out his stand, maybe that's the thing. Is it just goes after whoever is scared based on the, observation trigger or what have you.
Something that I would kind of love to see.
So he has no defense,
Yeah. I don't think he's got any real defense. But
something you'd like to see?
Yeah, at some point. And maybe it would break the formula, so they don't want to do this, but something where there's a stand user and they're like, I've got you, main character, right? And it's all, and you're basically getting ready for the music to change, the main character to be like, no, you, and then they just beat them, right? But instead, while they're expositing about how they've got the main character, right? Mm-hmm. One of the other side characters basically like could be just walking by in town, and then they realize this, they come over, dispatch the stand user just like that, and they're like, oh, guess we got another one, like, and it's just anticlimactic to the max.
Have you forgotten what happened in Mob Psycho 100 Season 2 when Reagan just casually just walks
exactly up? Exactly that.
Self-defense rush!
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And he basically auras Shimazaki.
That is exactly...
That's exactly what you want?
That is exactly what I want.
I would love that too. That would be fantastic.
Like, they can just do it the one time. That would be enough. But yeah.
Oh, you know how they defend against this stand? Suddenly, Joseph Joestar shows up with the baby stand, and the baby gets scared.
Joseph is so senile, he can't figure out what's going on, which means he can't get scared.
Well, no, but the thing is that the baby stand goes boom and invisible makes Josuke invisible, so that he can't see him get scared. So he's like, no, it doesn't work. And then Josuke punches himself and then restores the energy and makes himself visible again.
Except he can't restore himself. So
that's right.
You just have to hope that it's a temporary effect.
Oh no!
Otherwise, Josuke's permanently invisible.
Yeah, that might be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be an issue. Yeah. Oh man, no one can make fun of his hair though if they can't see it.
That's true.
But of course he couldn't fix his hair if he can't see it either, so...
Could he see himself, though?
No.
I've always wondered that. It shouldn't be the case, but yeah. but you'd feel it. You'd be able to, you'd be able to feel it and stuff like that. So
well, this episode was crazy.
Introduced a very cool stand.
Yes, and I'm glad that
it
wasn't...
The effect of its attack, too.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Sound effects. Oh.
And I'm glad that this episode wasn't as much of a setup episode as the previous episode. There was a lot more execution happening here, which was great.
Yep.
But
yeah, I think this is part 2 of many more to come. So
many more, yeah.
So looking forward to more of that. July 15th, it's a big day. So
oh boy.
Looking forward to it, y'all. So if you want to see next episode's reaction and discussion, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about these stories, about anime in general. You can get involved with the community there. We have events and games and stuff going on there. And you can also talk with Jacob about his book.
Yes. My sci-fi novel Battle Lines is still available for order on Amazon. The link is in the description below, so go check it out and leave a review. Let people know what you think.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.